Hello everybody, it's Joel from Silver Arrow Car. I probably don't need to be yelling. It's Joel from Silver Arrow Cars. I am out in our gorgeous 1964 Porsche 356C. This is the end of the 356 production. This is an all disc brake car. It has its numbers matching drivetrain. It is in really nice condition. And this is a beautiful day for it. A couple Porsches on the docket today for doing some driving, and that is exactly what we're going to do in this. I've just done our walk around video showing you the car, and you know what? Beautiful with the light coming in through the windows here near the end of the day. So this car was purchased by a very good client of ours about 15 or so years ago out of California. It was purchased from European Collectibles, very well known and respected dealer, broker, restorer, aficionados, everything to do with classic cars, and has owned it for quite a long time. This is probably one of his oldest cars or longest term cars from his collection. And he often has really great cars, and you know what? I might get murdered for saying this, but 356s, I would say, beautiful to look at. Not one of my personal favorites as far as driving. Usually, because when you come across a 356, as simple as they are, there's usually something that kind of nags you. Either they're not starting properly, they don't run properly, the transmission doesn't shift well. One of those things, which, you know what, that is a common thing for a lot of collector cars. I can happily tell you that that is not the case with this car. We've had this one sitting in our showroom for a number of months, and the owner was just not sure if he wanted to let it go or not, so we had detailed it and just stored it for him for a while. Finally, he's decided he will let it go, and I'll tell you, over all the time of it sitting in our showroom, sitting on a battery tender sometimes not, moving it around, always starts for us, always immediately idles well, and the couple times I've had it out driving, it drives phenomenally, and you know what, today is absolutely no different. So I'm stuck in traffic at the moment. I'll be back with you in a minute once we get on some more open road, and then we'll do a couple pulls and I'll shift through the gears and show you how it brakes, and we'll get onto the highway. So I'll be back shortly. Just coming up to a traffic light here, and we're going to get up onto the highway. I just slid up into the first gear. Did I say the first gear? I just slid into first gear as I was coming to that light. Synchros felt great, no grinding. All right, let's hit this merge lane. 4,000 RPM. It's cornering nice. All right, we're on the throttle. .4,200 RPM. Doing 60 miles an hour. Feels great. The steering box is very tight. Let's pass this Hyundai. 70 miles an hour. Engine feels great at RPM. We're at 3,000 RPM, cruising at 60 miles an hour. Tripometer is moving. I didn't reset it, but it's moving along, and so is the odometer. Currently showing 95,000 miles. Up into third, nice and smooth. That's great. All right, gearing down into second. Second gear felt nice and smooth. Are we gonna get through this light? No, we are not. So let me just talk a little bit more about the interior of this car. I've got the headlights on, and before I moved out of our shop, all the illumination, the background, the backlighting for the gauges, that worked no problem. And nice and bright. Little interior dash light, that works correctly. You can probably see Bluetooth audio coming through the backside of that, the factory radio. But what you probably can't see is that there's some color matched speaker grills covering some focal speakers. In the walk around video, I said that it was just for streaming music, but there is a microphone here, so you could take calls with this audio system. The seat feels great. It has very even kind of balancing to the foam and the seat frame itself. Sometimes these old cars, the seats get twisted and uncomfortable, or the foam's degraded. I'm not going to crank open that window. I'm going to use my quarter window. Everything feels great. Brakes feel fantastic. Throttle input is good. As I've already mentioned, the synchros and the transmission feel great. What else is there to tell you? Things like the shift lever or the signal lever, not worn out and loose feeling, nice and sure clicks to it. Indicator on the dash is showing that we are turning. This is a very tight car. This is totally redeeming what I earlier said about 356s not being my favorite. Might not be a big dollar figure comment I'm about to make, but classic cars, when you have a steering wheel that feels like the lacquer or Varathane or whatever it is on the steering wheel has been degraded, it is such a major but small thing to experience, and it takes away from kind of feeling like you're driving something special. Steering wheel feels great, and as I did say, steering box is nice and tight. So we are selling this car from our Blaine, Washington warehouse. We do a lot of exports from Canada into the US, and we keep that warehouse because we do so many exports out of Canada, and that allows us to title these cars. So this car is titled back in the United States as it previously was before it came to Canada. So this is titled in our name, clear title, Washington State title. Nice smooth shift in a second. Ready to go to anyone in the US. So car sitting in our Washington warehouse on a Washington title, ready to be assigned to whoever the lucky new owner is. The 1600cc in these cars, you know, if they're tired and weak, it can be a bit of a nuisance, but this one pulls nicely. All right, let's accelerate. Fantastic. That was 80 miles an hour at about 4,000 RPM. This is a great car. I will say it doesn't leave oil on the floor at our shop where it's lived for the last little while. Very confident. It's not all over the road. Steering input and alignment feels correct. All right, I'm going to hit the gas station just to wrap things up. 1964 Porsche 356C Cabriolet. It's been in Canada for 15 years. It came from California at European Collectibles. It wears black paint and a red leather interior, which is the opposite of how the car was born. It retains its, or it is said to, and we will confirm, that it retains its original running gear. And is a pretty damn nice car. We are selling this out of our Washington warehouse in Blaine, Washington. On a U.S. title, it is titled in Washington State. And good luck to you.